the University of Toronto in like 2012 with bachelor's degree specializing in pharmacology. And then during my undergrad education time, I had several opportunities to work in the laboratory environment as a research assistant. And then I quite enjoyed working in the laboratory environment. But at the time, like probably it's around the time that you are in right now, but at the time of the undergrad graduation, I wasn't really certain if I really wanted to develop my career in academia or industry. So after graduation, I decided to take a break from continuing into the higher education and then started working to explore different career path options. And then, so in terms of my work background, I worked in academia, biotech, and CDMO industry settings, covering basic biochemistry, molecular biology, clinical stem cell research, upstream bioprocess development automation, and the downstream clinical manufacturing of cell therapy products for the phase 1 to clinical trials. So my last like 10, 11 years of experience working as a technical staff in the field of cell-based therapy, it actually has been a very unique and fun journey. But as I grow in my career path from like an associate level to a team lead and now like more into the managerial roles, I come to the realization that accrediting my qualification with master's degree will better prepare myself to continue like advancing on my career path. And then I started to look for the graduate program that would suit my need, and then it can also supplement and polish like the skills and knowledge that I developed, but at the same time also like provide like flexibility to accommodate my lifestyle, because I can't really quit my job. And like for me, like I couldn't really quit my job and then like do the full-time studying. And then that was my and then McMaster was offering like part-time flexible hybrid options too, and then that was like perfectly fitted for my situation. And then it was definitely an initiative on enrolling into the biomanufacturing program at McMaster. And then yeah, that's where I am, and then I've been like enjoying it.
Awesome. Thank you, Kathy. For everyone who is here, I'm not sure if this setting applied to everyone, but you can actually change your view to the right of the camera. You can actually hide non-video participants. So I do want to encourage you to do that if you haven't already, or if my setting didn't apply to everyone. Next, we have Gurman. Same question.
Yeah, so I've been working for like an AI and statistics consultant for about a year now. I was in the biotechnology undergrad program here at McMaster. Graduated a year ago. So for me, it was more, you know how they say that the bachelor's is a new master's. That's what I kind of found in my experience as well. So I had about 3 years of total experience through co-op in undergrad. However, for more advanced positions, I wasn't really able to get through to the second phase. So for like 3 interviews, I got through to the HR person and clear that part of the interview. But the hiring, like the engineering manager was always saying how they needed a master's as a minimum. And that's kind of my main motivation to apply.
Yeah, no, I've definitely heard that. Master's is the new bachelor's. Last, we have a future student in the biomanufacturing program, Shelby. Shelby works in my office, so it's great to see a familiar face. What encouraged you to apply? And tell us a little bit about your work and education background.
Yeah, so I am fresh from the biotechnology program. I just finished my last course in December, actually. And I currently work in the McMaster recruitment office, where Amanda works, as the current co-director of Venture Academies for our STEM youth program. And I find it's like really rewarding for me, at least, going around and teaching students about STEM, encouraging racialized and underrepresented youth to come into engineering, as well as project development. So that's what I currently do now. What attracted me to the biomanufacturing program was the fact that the courses were being taught by industry professionals. So when I learned this, I thought it was amazing and important, because these are people who are up to date with real world applications. And they can also explain and teach me how to utilize my skills and degree to solve real world problems. And also, as Gervin and Amanda said, the master's is the new bachelor's. So I found that as well, just like kind of like after when I finished in December, just realizing that this is a hands-on program that's very similar to my own degree of biotechnology, and it's a perfect fit for what I want to do in the future.
Awesome. So Shelby, I'm going to ask you this question because you did just do it. So I'm guessing it's more fresh in your mind than potentially the other students here. Any tips for writing your statement of interest? I know for a lot of people, this is a really stressful part of the application. So as someone who has written a statement of interest and gotten into the program using that statement of interest, any tips for future students on writing their own?
Oh yeah, so for writing a statement of interest, I think it's important to just be as, it's kind of weird, but almost as personal as you can. Not too personal, but like personal enough that it doesn't sound almost copied or written from someone else's experiences. It's important to just be unique with your statement of interest and just make it relate to you as much as possible. So while most people think to flood it with all the technical skills and the work skills, I actually decided to go a different route and relate to my statement of interest to how it would affect me and the people around me, and like why getting into this program aligned with my goals and even the people around me, my family's goals, the goals I have for myself in the future, and like how my personal experiences align with the program.
Yeah, that's great. I think it's definitely key to set yourself apart using this. So if anyone could write it, probably not the best approach there. Really, you are selling yourself. So this next question, it's for current students. And I believe Kathy already commented on her status in the program. But as we've talked about already, this program is offered both full-time and part-time. So I'm just curious about the other students. Are you studying full-time? Are you studying part-time? And if you are studying part-time, tell us about the flexibility of the program. So Taryn.
So I'm studying full-time and working full-time. The program is pretty flexible. It's not as restricted as like our undergrad and BTech was, where it was kind of designed like most courses were for us. Here you can really pick what semester you want your courses. So yeah, just very flexible.
Bravo, full-time studies and full-time work. Gurman, what are you doing?
Yeah, so I also work full-time and I'm also doing the master's full-time. I'm doing like 5 or 6 courses. I don't really recommend people do it too. It just gets too much. But there's definitely flexibility. I think if you can work like 4 days and go to school one day, you'll be fine. And you could probably graduate in 16 months.
Awesome. Yeah, I think what's definitely key is the fact that you can change your workload throughout. So if you find that, you know, taking 5 or 6 courses is too many for the following semester, maybe you'll reduce it a bit. Kathy, I know you had commented a little bit about it, but yeah, what are you doing right now?
So for me, I'm studying part-time. And then so my work site is in Toronto area, and then it was a bit challenging for me to commute to attend the school courses. And then what McMaster does is it offers hybrid format. So I'm taking courses part-time. So I'm currently taking 2 courses and then working full-time. And then my courses are delivered via online platform. So that adds more flexibility on my daily schedule. So I can work and then just call in for the lectures and then attend the lectures. And then do all the assignments online as well. So it's a great benefit. It's a great platform, and then it offers flexibility for sure, so that I can continue my job, but at the same time supplement the degrees to improve better on my career path.
Awesome. Yeah, so we have a lot of different potential pathways here. And honestly, being able to earn money while you're in school is so key for a lot of people. So it's great to see that it's possible in this program. So for current students, I will want you to tell me one highlight of the program so far. So Kathy, we're going to switch the order. We'll start with you.
All right. So it's my first term, and then again, I'm doing my courses part-time, so I'm only taking 2 courses. So it's so I still have like way more ways to go than I've been through. But one highlight of the program so far is the many of the courses. So there are like theral instructors for course, and then many of the course instructors are coming from the current industry market. They are current industry professionals, and then they're sharing their field experiences and then their expertise, as well as their practical like know-hows throughout the course, and then what were the challenges that they faced, and then how they overcome it. And then I think that's a high value added tips, because for a person to gain that knowledge from the practical like field, it takes like years. Sometimes it is almost like not possible to get that know-how until like very end stage of the career development too. So I think that's definitely standing out point.
Awesome, thank you. Gurman, what's one highlight of the program so far for you?
Yeah, so for me is I think Dr. Faye touched on it a little bit, is that you can do projects as part of the program. So I'll actually be working on brain computer interfacing and artificial intelligence, which is pretty cool. I'll be honest, I don't know what that means either, but I liked how it sounded.
Yeah, no, that sounds really cool. You'll have to tell us all about it once you start the project. Taryn, tell us about your highlight.
I think the most important highlight I had so far is just kind of like the different backgrounds everybody brought into the program. So like I know some of us were in BTech before, but there's also a lot of international students with engineering backgrounds, science backgrounds. There's students like domestic students with also different backgrounds. So it's cool kind of working with people and kind of getting a different perspective. Okay.
Absolutely. So as someone who's in the program, why, Taryn, why should someone apply to this program? So I know you talked about like why you applied, but now that you're in the program, why you applied? Are you seeing it in action? Like why should all of the people that are here today, why should they be applying to biomanufacturing?
Well, I came from like a biotechnology background, so I kind of see this program as a part 2 to my undergrad. But I guess like the biggest thing is biomanufacturing is like now the future, like kind of like what we saw, like Dr. Rashid mentioned in the COVID situation, just how important biomanufacturing was and just the amount of jobs it's creating. I definitely think it's just where the future is headed, and it would be a great asset for a lot of people.
Perfect. Shelby, I haven't called on you in a while, so I'm going to ask you a question. What are some specific things that you're hoping to gain from this program? So I don't know if you've like researched like the projects that you can work on, or obviously you did your research when you were applying to this program. So yeah, tell us, what are some things that you're hoping to gain?
Yeah, so I'm hoping to gain more valuable insight into the biomanufacturing industry as a whole. So for me, my interest into applying was because I'm very interested in drug and chemical development, as well as synthetic biology. So I'm hoping to gain actually more experience and knowledge in this field from industry professionals, and even learn more from the business and even technological side of things. So like, I'm not the greatest coder, but I am hoping that this program can like help me utilize the skills I do have in the biology field and connect them with tech and bring it all around together into a possible career in that regard.
Great. So speaking of careers, you know, Gurman, you had mentioned that you were trying to find some jobs after you graduated from your undergraduate degree, and they were looking for that master's degree. So what are, I know obviously this may change throughout the course of the program, but what are some of your goals post-graduation, Gurman?
Oh yeah, so actually when I listed that I was in pursuit of my master's, I was actually able to get the career jump that I needed. So I got like a nice 20K bonus. That's always nice to have. But I think my goal post graduation would probably some sort of managerial position. But I think I really want a PhD in biomanufacturing. That's already cutting edge. But I think if I combine it with AI through like the project I was talking about, you know, it's really good to have. So yeah, that's my goal.
Amazing. You already got that pay jump just by being in the program. Kathy, tell us about your goals post-graduation.
So for me, I guess I have to say I was fortunate enough to, or old enough to jump into this cell-based therapy, cell and gene therapy development sector like a while ago. So I made through the career path development without having a master's degree. Like before the concept of, master's is new bachelor's came in. But I actually, for about like 10 years working, I have been enjoying like every opportunities that I had, like witnessing how fast and rapid this field is developing with like innovative ideas and like how those ideas can transition into the real therapy and then help improve the patient's quality of life. So I'll definitely be continuing developing my career path in this field. And then with the knowledge and like conceptual knowledge that I gained from this program, what I would like to do after graduation is I would like to contribute more, not just for the development of the technology, but also like I want to contribute, involve more in the development of the practical like talent training plan, because like everyone mentioned, like we need a lot of good workforce in the field too. So yeah, I like to be involved in the practical training, talent training plan for good manufacturing operations.
Perfect. And I wish you all the best with that. Last, Taryn, what are your goals post-graduation?
Yeah, my goals are also kind of exploring the management side and definitely the project management side. I think biomanufacturing is very new, so there's a lot of room for new roles, and I think it would really be just paving the path for the future.
Perfect. Shelby, I can ask you the same question. Again, it might change, but what are you hoping to do? I know we never want you to leave venture, but
you mean
what will you be doing after?
After the program ends? I'm actually hoping to use my degree in more of a teaching style. So similar to what Taryn said about project management. So like hopefully managing my own team, because I kind of do that venture now. So kind of relating the two goals. I'm also very into recruitment. So like hopefully just getting more students into this program, into biomanufacturing, into biotechnology, and just building the workforce as well with my degree.
Awesome. Okay, so I don't want to keep everyone too long. So it looks like we still have quite a few people here. If you have any questions for our 4 students here, now is your time to put it in the chat. I think they've given us some great insight into why you should apply to this program and what it's actually like. But if you have some more specific questions, Jim will send them to me in the chat. I'll give you guys a couple minutes. While you're thinking of your questions, I have one last question, because it does seem like we have some people here who are concerned that their undergraduate degree might not prepare them enough for this master's degree. So if you want to encourage students, how did you feel like you were behind at all when you started, or do you feel like you had enough of a general knowledge that you were able to build off of it? So Taryn, tell me about your experience, starting your graduate program.
Well, I started a year after working, so I still remember a lot for BTech, but no, I don't think it was too hard to adjust. Like I know some of my group members, they come from a completely different background, but we have great professors and resources, and it's not too bad of an adjustment. Yeah.
That's awesome to hear. Gurman, what about you?
Yeah, like Terrence's saying, like some of our colleagues in the current cohort, just science are completely different. They might have just done manufacturing engineering, just regular manufacturing, like automobiles or steel making. And they're again, the courses are structured in a way where Dr. Fay or eventually Dr. Alani's or Dr. R courses as well, they'll both teach you from like the ground up. So it's not really something you need to fear.
Kathy, what about you? I know you've only taken 2 courses so far, but do you feel like you were okay?
Yeah, I agree with Taryn and Gurman's point too. There are actually a lot of students who come from different background. And then currently I'm taking like one of the discrete manufacturing course and then one of the biomanufacturing course. And then from the both courses, the courses are designed like ground up, like Carmen mentioned. So it starts from the introductory basic principles and then it develops. So I think it was like good to follow up because I came from pure biology background, pharmacology, but engineering aspect were covered, and then I was able to like catch up. And then well, like heads up, there are going to be like a lot of background readings that you will have to do. So there's gonna be like effort from the student side that needs to be put out, but it's definitely manageable, I think.
Yeah, and then something I just wanted to add to that is that the program's very group work focused. I think in nearly every course me and Taryn have, there's like some group component to it. So like your colleagues can always help you out. Like Kathy's always teaching me and Taryn about like certain cell groups or things like that. So again, you'll have the support that you need.
Yeah, no, one thing that we definitely do here at McMaster is we collaborate, we don't compete. So it's great to see that continues on into our grad studies as well. So we do have a question, a couple questions here from some of our attendees. So this one's for current students. Can you share more about any lab or hands-on experience you've gone through so far, if any? Gurman?
Yeah, so I think we did 2 labs so far. One was PCR. So we're extracting RNA or DNA from breast cancer cells. And we just analyzed them. And there was another lab where we were just culturing cells. So we took like a raw sample and then we were just trying to get them to grow. I think that was breast cancer cells as well.
Taryn or Kathy, have you done anything in addition to that? I have a feeling you've done a lot of this similar courses, so I don't know.
Yeah, I had the same labs as Gurman. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, and this is looking to the future, and this can be for everyone, including Shelby, if you've looked at the course listing. But this person's wondering if there's any specific courses you're really looking forward to completing. Shelby, have you looked at the course listing yet?
I have. I'm actually interested. What's the name of the company? I think it's the cell culturing course. I don't know if any. Yeah, Taryn's nodding. Okay, so I'm thinking she's done it. I'm very interested in that course. We did do a few early on in our undergrad, but since then it's been more towards fermentation towards the end of the biotech undergrad. So I'm definitely interested, kind of going back to cell culturing, and I'm just learning about all those aspects again.
What about you, Taryn?
I'm actually really looking forward to the biomanufacturing course in September, just to kind of get right into what the whole program's about. Yeah.
Kathy?
Biomanufacturing overall, and then also the regulatory courses like biotechnology regulations, because those are important aspects that always factors in when the manufacturing kicks in.
And Gurman.
I would have to say it's probably deep learning. So it's a subset of artificial intelligence and machine learning. It's kind of the same principles used to make ChatGPT. So it's a pretty new concept. It's really interesting.
Great. And to answer, we had a question, if there's any courses on statistics and data science, there will be a course related to data science. So you can definitely expect that. It looks like that might be the end of our questions. I'm going to give people one last chance.
I'll just jump on the last one.
Yeah, for sure.
Data science. So again, like I said, we're consulting for statistics and AI. And currently a big thing most manufacturing plants are implementing is something called MVDA, multivariate data analysis. You use that to see if a part is good or bad. And it was actually like a big shock for me. So the software we use in industry is Simca. And there's a course called MBA, Multivariate Statistics, but it's the same thing. It's actually taught by Dr. Brandon Colbert, I believe, and he actually helped make that software we're using. So on my first day, I was like, oh, I do this at my job. And he was like, oh, it kind of made that. So, there's a lot of knowledge in terms of the faculty. Just thought I'd share that.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. So someone is wondering if they can connect with any of you, via LinkedIn or email. I don't want to put any of you on the spot. So what I'm going to recommend this person do is email wbooth@mcmaster.ca. And we will ask our students if they're comfortable with that after the presentation. Because again, I don't want to put anyone on the spot. So I do want to thank all of you, Taryn, Shelby, Gurman, Kathy. You've been fantastic. It's been so great to hear about your current experiences and about your inspirations for applying to this program. Again, master's and the new bachelor's. So I hope that we've encouraged you to apply. Biomanufacturing is going to be one of the biggest industries in Canada, and this program truly addresses that. We want you to get a job, a well-paying job, an influential job after you apply. And Faye, Fayez, Rashid, it sounds like they truly are setting you up for success. So I do want to thank them as well. For their time and their insights into the program and for developing this program. Again, it's one of a kind. I'm really excited to see where it goes. If you have any questions, again, please email us, wbooth@mcmaster.ca. We really look forward to receiving your applications, and I hope everyone has a great night. Thanks again. Bye now.